Holy angels, spiritual helpers. Personally, to my teacher, Master Chokhok Sui Mahagu Jumeling, we thank you for divine light, love. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for your compassionate, purifying light and healing energy. We thank you for all the blessings in all areas of our lives. We're super grateful. So be it. All right. So we titled this one, The Silent Temple, Part 2, sequel. For the ones who are with us this morning, let me just repeat the story to you again. I'm going to read it so I don't screw it up. All right, here we go. Hey, it disappeared. Okay. So there's this enlightened teacher. His name is Shoichi. It's a Zen story. And he's enlightened. He taught his disciples in this particular temple in Japan called Tofuku Temple. All right. Day and night, the whole temple stood in silence. There was no sound at all. In fact, even the reciting of sutras, chanting, all that, nothing. The whole temple was just silent. And then one day, he passed on. The body died. And an old neighbor started hearing ringing bells, chanting, recitation of sutras. She knew the teacher has left the body. So I shared with you this morning, you can watch it again. The context is the temple that they're talking about is a temple of the Holy Spirit, which is your body, your emotions, and your thoughts, which is basically the human suit that the soul uses in an incarnation. Okay? And I'm sharing this with you because this morning when we talk about silence, oftentimes people think, oh, I'll just quiet my mind. Okay, I'm enlightened. Not really. Because the temple being quiet, being silent, is a manifestation of the presence of the I Am. Just like in the story, when the teacher's around, everything's quiet. The teacher left, the party goes on. The party starts. Okay? And oftentimes, a lot of us, that is exactly what happened. We don't get to realize that in our deepest moments of spiritual connection, silence is the main ingredient. Because silence allows us to have stillness. Without silence, it's almost impossible to have stillness. And I'm sharing this with you because oftentimes we mistake activity for spirituality. We're busy chanting, we're busy doing this, we're busy doing that. All that is important, but knowing who you are, the I Am within, can only be truly experienced in stillness. And so this morning we did meditation twin hearts and we went into silence. Tonight we'll take it one step further. We'll also do meditation twin hearts because that's always the springboard. That's very, very important because there are many ways to experience this silence. One of them, some of you have experienced it in front of a white wall. Observe your thoughts, observe them going away, and then there's that little memory that when it shows up, you react to it, guess what? There goes your silence. Right? So it does work, but it requires willpower and persistence. Now, you will notice that when you're so busy helping someone you love, at that particular time, somehow there's silence within you because you're so focused. Part of it is because you're focused, part of it is because of the activation of the heart. So when the heart chakra gets activated, it stimulates the crown. When the crown gets stimulated, guess what? Massive amount of spiritual energy come down. Now you're under a waterfall of light. And that waterfall of light comes down and flushes out all the noise. That's basically what we do in meditation twin hearts. And so there are many ways to experience that stillness, that silence. But using love and devotion is kind of a shortcut. Okay? That's why we do it. So what we're going to do, we'll do meditation twin hearts first, and then when you're in that point of light above your head, when you're experiencing nothingness, then we'll slap on booster rockets and shoot you even higher to higher frequency. That's it. Simple plan, right? Okay. Now, I also want to address something that quite a number of you have said during when we did a full moon meditation. I talked about it a little bit this morning, but I want to address it again tonight because we seem to have different audiences. And that is this past 2 weeks ago when we had, or last week, forgot already, the full moon meditation, the impact of a spiritual teacher. And then the other meditation we did for the people who've taken pranic healing, we talked about the 7 qualities of a spiritual teacher, of the spiritual teacher. And one of the things that I saw a lot was calling me, you're my guru, you're my teacher, and so on, so on, so on. So I want to clarify that once and for all. Just like Tony says, I'm not your guru. Okay, like the movie is, I'm not your guru. I'm not the guru, I'm just the student of my teacher. I just happen to pick up the job of spreading his teachings, and I'll do my very best to tell you, in my own experience, what are the fantastic, amazing teachings the Guru, Master Chokoksui, has given me, and I'm transmitting that to you the best I can, and hopefully that will encourage you to study more, and you'll learn pranic healing or hatha yoga and his teachings, because of course I'm super biased, because it's changed my life, and I know it changed the lives of millions. Okay? So, I'm not your guru. I'm just the guy with a big mouth, with the technology to get this information to you. And I'll do my very best to share as much as I can. Okay? That's that. Okay, let's get to what we're here for. When we're practicing meditation, the sequence, or as Tony Robbins says, the syntax is quite important. You cannot get to calmness until the soul is able to regain control over the body, the emotions, and the thoughts. Okay? And without calmness, without calming this down, you cannot experience that silence. Without that silence, you cannot get to that stillness. It's like climbing steps. A lot of people, me included, sometimes can be lazy. Forget this. Let me just get into stillness. And you sit and go, And then give it like probably 30 seconds. You're lucky if you get 30 seconds. Get to your phone, right? I've seen it, in public gatherings when we did meditation for the public. Be still, be aware, let go. You watch people. Give it about 10 seconds. Some people are going like this. I'm watching these people. I'm going, I know what it's like. I know what it's like. The problem is, if it's not explained to you, the harder you try to be still and quiet, guess what? The crazier it gets. Right? So, let me help you out. It's as simple as this. I like simple. Maybe I'm not too smart. I like things simple. Okay? So the soul is in a human suit. We know that already. The body, the emotions, and the thoughts, right? Let me just do that quickly for the new people. And when I ask you to move your body, what's being moved? The body. Who's moving it? I am. When I have you to feel certain feelings, what are you doing? I'm creating these feelings. Who's the feeler? Created the feelings? I am. Think of a thought. Who's the thinker? I am. Clear? So the spiritual self moves the body, creates the feelings, creates the thoughts. So the sum total of the movements of the body, the sum total of all the emotions and the thoughts, these are the vehicles or the instruments of the tool or the tools the soul uses to interact with this earthly life. Clear? So the mess, the noise, is all the information coming from these 3 instruments. Like that. So here's what happens. If we cannot distinguish what is not the I with what's the I, it's natural for us to think that whatever we're feeling at that time is who we are. So if one day you're not feeling good, oh man, everything's terrible, I'm so depressed. Make sense? If one day things are doing great, oh, I'm so happy and I'm excited. So what happens is, unless we have a knowingness, we have a tendency to identify with what's going on with the body, the emotions, the thoughts, as the real I. And guaranteed, if you do that, forget silence. Because these instruments are constantly, right? The only thing that remotely happens is when your body's sleeping. And then the soul is in the emotional world going, flying around. And of course, if you had a dramatic day that day, watching a movie that's very emotional, or you had an emotional experience, good or bad, there's a tendency for you to what? To experience those when you're not in body. You call it a dream. Make sense? So what we try to do here is to first really step back and observe. I know you're probably tired of me saying this over and over again. It's the same message since the start of the pandemic last year, right? Well, guess what, buddy? You're going to be here for a thousand years with me in whatever lifetime. You're still going to keep hearing it. I normally don't nag, but that part I'll nag on you. Because without it, there's no foundation. Okay? So, that said, the spiritual self, the I, is already in you. It is you. But it's oftentimes covered by the noise of how we feel, how we think, our opinions, our perceptions, people's thought, people's perception. You turn on the TV, this is what you see. You have one opinion, you go to the next, that's opinion. Before you know it, you're a student of Confucius. You're confused. No, I'm kidding. Just joking. All right? So what we try to do here is, again, step back and be the observer. And you will notice just being the observer changes things. And there's one question that you can ask. It's so crazy simple. You go, does it work? Well, it worked for me. Worked for a lot of people I know. It's just one simple question. Is this the I? That's it. So, when your shoulder's not feeling good, your back's hurting, or whatever stuff is going on with the body, you go, oh, yeah, man. Wait, you just step back. Is this I? Is this the I? Is this pain really I? You ask it enough times, you'll come up with the same conclusion. It's not. This is the body. That's one. Let's do with the emotions. Let's say you're going through emotional turmoil, and all of us up and down, and whatever's going on in life. Step back. Is this emotional turmoil I? Are these good feelings the I? You have to be fair. Is this being ecstatic the I? Is this anger and resentment the I? If you keep asking that question over and over again, you come up with the same conclusion. Nope, it's something I created. Or that person made me feel it. Guess what? They made you what? Feel it. So you still created it. Make sense? Same thing with your thoughts. This is brilliant because if somebody's trying to sell you something, good or bad, or trying to convince you about something, at some point you go, yeah, man, I agree with you. Yeah, what do you mean? Oh, like if I stand in my head, chant this mantra 3 times, I'll be enlightened. Yeah, man. You mean because their thought forms basically clouded your entire mental body. So if you just go, oh, okay. Is this the I? Are these thoughts the I? You just inquire. Are these the I? Is this the I? Are these thoughts I? You know, I. For your identity. That's what you're doing. You're searching. And at some point, some of you faster, some of you longer, depends on what? How much wrapping the soul has. It's just like if you have a light bulb that's radiating light, if it's covered in layers and layers of cloth and paper and everything, you don't get to see the light until you take most of it off or all of it off. So whatever experiences are, good or bad, relating to friends, family, work, all of it can be subjected to that question. Any experiences we have, is this the I? And it's one of those, the more you ask, the deeper you go. And at some point, even without any other meditation, yeah, is this the I? No. So what am I? I'm the one observing it. Is this my hand I? No. The fact that I'm watching it, observing it, I can turn around, move it up and down. No, that's not the I. What's moving the arm? My elbow, my shoulder. Okay, what's that connected to? My body. I'm watching it. So the observer could not be what's being observed. So therefore, this body is not the I. Then you just close your eyes and be still and just say, okay, if I'm not this body, that's not the I, who's the I? That alone, a lot of people will experience a certain stillness or calmness, but it's temporary. You know why? Because once the body, once there's a realization the body's not the I, the emotions start going, how about me? How about me? How about me? That's what happens. You know, it's like a kid wanting attention. So you go, okay. Then you go, okay, let me be completely honest with myself. How am I feeling? I'm feeling happy, I'm feeling sad, I'm upset, there's heaviness, whatever. What is it? Just observe. That feeling of anger, is that really I? No. I was fine before that situation happened, so it could not be the I. I created it. Or it just happened after. I'm feeling fantastic. I feel so ecstatic. I got a raise. I got this. I'm winning, $1 quadrillion or whatever. How do you feel? I feel great. Is that the I? I want it to be. Or the other question is, are those the fantastic, great emotions I created in response to this? I know some of you go, you're messing, you party pooper. You're not making me enjoy it. Hold on. If you can't handle this, there's the door. Hear me out. You have to be fair. You have to observe the good feelings and the not so good feelings. You have to observe them. That's the meaning of being the observer. Those feelings are not the I either. Are the words? And here's another thing. Then you go to the okay, let me back up. As you start having that realization, even these feelings I created, these are not the I. And then as soon as you come up with some level of realization, these are not the I. You close your eyes, you put your tongue in your palate, it becomes even quieter, even more silent. And a certain level of stillness is creeping in. I know it sounds like an oxymoron. A stillness couldn't creep, but you get the idea. So you quiet down the body, quiet down the emotions. Now you go high in frequency. Now the thoughts. Oh, yeah, I know what it's like. That's why I always get stuck. My thoughts are jumping all over the place. Even in silence, I'm thinking of dinner, thinking of lunch, thinking of this, thinking of that. Okay, very good. Excellent. I know, at least we know you can think. That's good. All right. Then you apply the same technique. Are these thoughts the I? Is that the idea of I want lunch, I want dinner, that thought and that feeling, is it the I? No, I'm observing it. Before I thought of that item, I was already around. So that could not be the I. Very interesting. Let's take it further. This person told me something. That person is very positive, very loving, very... Is that the I? Are those thoughts that he gave me, those ideas he gave, are those the I? No. I didn't have them before he told me. In other words, those ideas were not mine until he told me. Now that I understood it, I made it mine. But look, you said they are mine, meaning ownership. So ownership means there's the owner and what's being owned. So it's still not the I. Because if I'm the owner, I own this, this is not the I. So even their thoughts, good or bad, they're not the I. You go, man, this is hard work. Come on, you guys. I'm sure you've studied fractions and geometry that are much harder than this. This is easy. You just ask, is this the I? The answer is always no. But I want you to do that. Oh, no. Because without the experience, listen, without the experience, there is no certainty. With no certainty, the energy doesn't flow. So this inquiry process is very, very important because it forces the I to distinguish what's not I. And once you figured out what's not I, what's left is I. That's your identity. That's it. Simple. It's more complicated and time-consuming explaining this to you than just doing it. Make sense? Now, why is that important? That allows you to have clarity. Without the ability to distinguish what's not the I and what's the I, clarity, it's almost impossible. Everything would be muddied. Even by people who are well-intentioned telling you something, making you feel something, it could affect your judgment. Make sense? But if you're able to step back, okay, you step back. Okay, what happened today? This person told me this. She told me this. He told me that. Oh, I felt this. I ate that. Whatever. You can step back and say, all these phenomena are not the I. So when that happens, it creates a vacuum in your consciousness. So who's the I? So here's what we'll do. I think you got the background of that already. Okay? So to just relate to the story, because after the meditation, you'd be so spaced out, you wouldn't know what story, what the heck I was talking about. The temple is basically the shell. The body, the emotions, and thoughts. In order to have silence, the spiritual self, the I, has to go in and realize, I am here. I control my body, my emotions, and thoughts. But you can't do that unless you first disidentify what's not the I with the I. I know some of this is, some of you are not recording, what do you call this? Translating this into Spanish, not Brazilian, Portuguese and other languages. I apologize. I speak fast and I use strange words. But, oh well. Do your best. You're talented. Okay, let's do this. Ready? Okay, sit comfortably. Don't lay down, because if you lay down, you'll be meditating on snoring. Okay? Just sit. Now close your eyes. Observe your body. Just observe how you're sitting. You know, is anything aching? Is anything tight? Is anything loose? Just observe. Okay? What are you hearing? What are you smelling? What are you seeing? Some people see with your eyes closed. Okay, some of you might see light, some of you just pitch black, whatever. Okay, what are you smelling? Anything you're tasting in your mouth? In other words, we're having you observe all your senses. To be more specific, the senses of the physical body. Just observe. Now, as you observe it, realize that these are not the I. I'm observing them, so they could not be me. Now, just be still. Who is the I? If the I is not the body, who is the I? Now, don't answer it. Just ask the question and go deeper. Who is the I? It's like entering an empty space, searching for something. Don't give the answer. Just ask it. Who is the I? Now observe any emotions you have today, yesterday, the day before. Any of those emotions you're feeling right now. Be it just a tiny bit, a lot, whatever, just observe. Am I feeling angry, happy, frustrated, ecstatic? Observe. What feelings are around me right now? Identify them. Okay, that's one. Oh, that's another one. Oh, yeah, man, he pissed me off. Okay, that's another one. Ooh, she made me happy. Oh, okay. Oh, I heard some good news. That's great. I feel ecstatic. Okay, observe. What are these different emotions you're experiencing right now from what has happened today or last few days or a week, whatever? Observe. Observe all these emotions. You say these are not the I. So who is the I? You retreat within you to that empty space, to that nothingness, and ask the question. If the I is not any of these emotions, these feelings, who is the I? Don't answer it, just ask. Inquire and go deeper. Who is this I that moved the body earlier? Who created these feelings? Who is this I? Observe your thoughts. What am I thinking right now? Oh, I'm thinking of what you're saying. Oh, I read a book that talks about that many years ago. I'm thinking of dinner. I'm thinking of breakfast. I'm thinking of what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm thinking of all these people that have talked to me today. Interesting. Oh, the book I read. What am I thinking? Observe. What are the thoughts that are jumping all over the place? Go ahead and enjoy them. Observe this thought. Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah, I don't like that guy. He's this, he's that. Oh, okay, observe that thought. And some of them, the thoughts are laced with emotions. Okay, observe it. Yep, when that person told me this, I thought of these things and there was a feeling of happiness. Oh, interesting. Observe it. Just keep observing. Watching your thoughts. Observe those thoughts. Good, bad, neutral, observe them. Step back. Just like you did with the body, with your emotions, now with the thoughts. Observe them. And just say, I'm observing these. These are the phenomena, the thoughts. Either I created them, someone created them, but they're not I. Now retreat back into that nothingness, like into empty space, and ask the question, if the I is not the thoughts, who's the I? The I is not the body. The I is not the emotions. The I is not the thoughts. Who is this I? Be still. Allow your awareness to follow that energy, that inquiring energy going deeper and deeper within. Who is this I? Be still. The I moved the body earlier. So it couldn't be the body. So I'm not the body. It felt those feelings earlier. So that I'm the feeler, but I'm not those feelings. I thought of these things earlier. But I created those thoughts, so I couldn't be those thoughts. So I'm not those thoughts. Who am I? Be still. Inquire deeper. Who am I? What is the nature of this I? Don't answer it. Wait for the response. Who is this I? Who am I? Be still and be aware and wait for the answer. Who am I? Just keep your tongue on your palate and be still. Keep asking that question. Keep inquiring into that empty space, into that nothingness, without expecting an answer, but just asking it. Who is this I? Who am I? What is the nature of this I? Then be still. I am that nothingness. I am that pure energy of light. I am that. That am I. Just be still. Allow your consciousness, your knowingness, just drift on its own wherever it wants to go, expanding, lifting. Just let it go. I am that divine self. I am immortal, eternal. I am radiant and spiritual light. I am that self of light. That self am I. I am that self of light, ever expanding, ever growing. That self am I. I am that self of light. I am that self of radiant light. That light am I. Be still. The self in me is one with the self in all. The self in me is one with the self in all. The self of light in me is one with the self of light in all. The Atma in me is one with the Paramatma in all. The Atma in me is one with the Paramatma in all. The Atma in me is one with the Paramatma in all. I am that self in all. That self am I. I am that. That am I. Let go now. Experience your true nature and being a pure energy, nothingness, sunya. I am that. That am I. Let go. experience your true self now. I am the master of my temple. Say it. I am the master of my temple. I am the master of my temple. Nothing happens in this temple without my permission. I am that. That am I. Be still and let go now. Melt into the light. Dissolve into the nothingness. Be one with all now. Gently, slowly, very gently and slowly, come back to your physical body. Gently move your fingers, move your toes. Just very gently and slowly come back. Returning, completely being aware of who you are, that you are the master of your temple. Slowly open your eyes. Okay. Observe your thoughts, your emotions. How are you? How's your level of stillness, quietness, silence? How is it? We didn't do meditation twin hearts because if we did, you'll explode. I think that I miscalculated. Because if we did meditation twin hearts on that, I think some of you might not be able to handle it. So, now you know who's the master of the temple. You are. The temple is the body, the emotions, and thoughts. You're the boss. It's when you give the power away, then it screws things up. Simple, isn't it? Fundamental question, who's the I? If you keep asking that question, nobody can piss you off. People might trigger you, then you just step back and, this is not the I. Finished. Then you get to decide how to move your body, what feelings to create, what thoughts to create. You're the boss. That's why I think one of the Buddha's teaching is the greatest victory is conquering yourself more than conquering 1,000 armies. That's that. All right. Anyway, this video is going to be online in whatever platform you're watching it. You can go back, study it, do the meditation again, practice it. You'd be surprised. You're not a victim of anything. You're the boss. It's mastering the self. Okay? Easy. Simple. Of course, in future lessons, there are higher lessons. Once you realize who the I really is, then the next part is how do you experience that I as part of the universal I. That's the secret behind the Higgs field. And if you ever studied Higgs boson, you know, they say that the universe is basically fields, waves, fields, energy fields. And even in a vacuum, in outer space, even if you suck all the atoms and electrons and everything else out of it, within that nothingness, there's still this Higgs field. Anyway, a lot of you who are geeks know what I'm talking about. Well, guess what? Yogis have known that for millions of years, thousands of years. Because that nothingness is not nothingness. It's pure energy. So, that's that. Raise your hands. I know some of you are about to explode with so much energy. Because you remember, I told you, in stillness is where real power is. So let's release excess energy. Visualize your family and loved ones. Fill them with golden light. May all of them be blessed with good health, with happiness, with prosperity, and with spirituality. Peace, love, and kindness and joy to all. So be it. So it is. Now project golden light from your hands, your feet, and the base of your spine down deep into the earth and repeat after me. Let our beloved Mother Earth, all her children, and all of creation be blessed with divine light, divine love, and divine power. Let all be blessed, be healed, regenerated, and revitalized. Blessings be to all. So be it. So be it. And so it is. Keep blessing the earth below you with golden light. Any excess energy your bodies cannot absorb, bless Mother Earth with it. It helps to ground you. It helps you to release any blockages out of your system. And of course, the additional benefit, as your connection to Earth increases, your prosperity chakra also gets activated. So be it, and so it is. Let's give thanks to the Divine Supreme One, Divine Father, Mother. Thank you to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers. Thank you for your immense blessings. In full faith. To my teacher, Master Tofuku Temple, thank you. In full faith, so be it. Okay. I highly recommend after this you get up and do exercises so you can assimilate all the energy you generated. Isn't that amazing? You generate energy by knowing you're nothing. No thing. No mass, just pure energy. That's it. Very simple. People make it complicated. You write, volumes and volumes of books, but without this foundation, nothing lasts. All right, just a quick announcement. This weekend, this Sunday, I'll be teaching Spiritual Essence of Men, which is the Tree of Life, to certain parts of Asia, Australia, Fiji, something. Anyway, the links, you just search for it. It's being taught. It's going to be time there, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Okay? Now, India's not part of it. I know it's part of Asia, but India has another class that is being taught by one of my colleagues. It's just that the way the Institute sets it out, Singapore, Vietnam, Fiji, New Zealand, Australia, and the surrounding areas, that's where this is going to be broadcasting. Okay? So you just go to the links of I can't mention it here. It's too long. Now, Pranic Feng Shui and self-healing introductory class. It's online. You just go to masterco.org, and that's available. It's free, so you can learn how to work on yourself. It's an introductory class, and then if you want to go further, Chandan Paramswar is teaching the self-healing. I'm teaching the Pranic Feng Shui. All that is next month. And what else? Deep emotional healing. There's a workshop coming up this Friday, and Prosperity Zen is closing also, I think, this weekend. All right. So all of that, just go to masterco.org. And Friday, this coming Friday, Anchor the Light, it's going to be emotional healing and prosperity healing. I think prosperity healing is going to be in the morning, emotional healing is at night. Regardless, just make sure you have your salt water available. Okay? Namaste, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me, and may you be always happy, joyful, prosperous, and know who you really are. Namaste. We will see you Friday morning.